All right, friends, the full lineup for Cosmic Counsel is now up. It's available. All of the guides have presented themselves. All of the guides have come through. I'm going to tell you about a little beef that I had with Ganesha earlier. And I think this will be a fun thing for us to go through. Okay. So I'm just going to go in order of the guides and why they're here, what they're helping with. So for those of you who are new here, if you don't know what Cosmic Counsel is, it's a class all about guides, ascended masters, historical figures, different types of guides that you yourself can work with, right? So not every guide is going to be ultra resonant, but there's 9 of them, and we're going to be talking about how to shop for them and everything like that. So there's plenty for you to work with during this class. So we're going to be working with 9 different guides throughout the entire 3-week program. We also talk about Akashic records. We talk about the influence of history. We talk about the influence of culture, historical events that were going on, mythology, storytelling, just different streams of consciousness at different periods of time, the difference between people who have embodied or something like a deity that comes from a different culture. There's so much to it that is going to be really helpful for you to understand who to tune to, how to tune to them, who's good for what, when, why, how, all of that stuff. So it's really, really fun. It's very interactive, very hands-on and meditation heavy. We're in practice together the whole time. So minimal lecture, very heavy with practice. And of course, you know where the link is at. It's in my bio as always, or DM me if you have questions. Now, okay, let's go to week 1. So week 1, we kick off with Jesus always, for so many reasons. The primary reason being that he is a staple in my own practice. So he is one of those guides that is just a cure-all in so many ways. I feel like if there is one guide that everyone should have in their back pocket, it's Jesus. He's one of the most famous healers in all of humanity, in existence, ever. Extremely powerful, extremely connected. There is so much there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Jesus is always a good time. He sends me memes all the time. I share with you the most ridiculous Jesus memes, and I feel like he blesses me with all the hilarious Jesus memes. Okay, then we have Copia. Now, the interesting thing about this Roman goddess, because I knew that we were going to have at least one relationship guide, and I knew we were going to have one money guide, because I try to make the lineup as diverse as possible so people can play with different areas of their lives and they have a different guide with different specialties, okay? And Copia came through. The other name is like Abundantia, something like that, but it's a mouthful. So Copia is the other name. Yes, like cornucopia. That's why I drew a cornucopia the other day. And the interesting thing about her is I have looked up money guides countless times. She was one of the guides that I had to actively shop for, and she was invisible to me until this round. We're going to talk more about that in class, but it was absolutely perfect timing, of course, but I was so excited. It was an absolute yes. She had to go on the lineup. The mythology is out of this world fantastic. Hands down. Like, it is so cool. I cannot wait for everyone to meet her. It's going to be so much fun. And I'm really curious what people are going to experience in their waking life around all things finance because of her. So I'm very curious about what's going to be going on with that. Then we have Benjamin Franklin. Now, this one was funny because Ben Franklin kept pinging me, and I was like, no. I do this with guides sometimes. They'll hit me up and I'll be like, no. leave me alone. Like, I'm not putting you on the lineup. I don't really know what you have to offer. I was like super dismissive of him. And then there was this woman who messaged me and she was like, okay, I'm in Cosmic Counsel. Here's who I want to work with. Ben Franklin was on her list. Ben Franklin, the guide that I had been resisting this entire time, who I was like, no, I don't know what you have to offer. I don't know why you're hitting me up. Well, because the group evokes the guides. So not only that, but the wisdom, the information, the connection that is most needed for the group is what arrives. That's what lands. And so I was like, that's it. That settles it. Ben Franklin goes on the list. Now, this is more of an advocacy energy. So we're going to be talking a lot about boundaries, innovation, rebellion. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And we're going to talk about history on day 3. I get this question a lot from people whenever we've worked with guides. It's like, well, what about the dark parts of history? Or if you don't know, I also do a class with Marilyn Monroe. And every time I run that class or when I work with her, it's like she still had a pill and alcohol addiction, right? It's not like her humanity was pure. And so we're going to talk about the impurities of people who have embodied things like that. We're going to unpack all of that, the dark parts of history, all of those questions that people have come up. So we're going to talk about that. That's week 1. That's just week 1, okay? Then week 2. Now let me tell you about some perfectionism that I had come up that week. I was like, I want it to be like sex symbol, relationship goddess. I want it to be like oozing with love. I want it to just be this like Valentine's Day vibe on week 2. Well, I don't decide the guides that come up. I don't get to choose the guides that come up because this is for you. This isn't for my personal practice. This is for everyone who's in Cosmic Counsel because you all are summoning the guides, not me. I'm just answering the phone, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So, so the first guide that came up, I don't know the order that I'm going to be putting these yet, but this is the order that the guides came through. So the first one that came up was Medusa. Of all the guides, I was not expecting her. However, there are so many different themes that go along with her mythology that are really, really important to bring to the table. And so her magic, she has medicine and magic for everyone in how her story played out, in almost like the energetic navigation that she's able to offer. And there's a lot of mystery and alluring energy about her. There's so much. It's almost siren-like in terms of what she's going to be bringing, as well as power. So she is our power guide for this round. The next guide that came through was Eros. Okay, so if you don't know, Greek and Roman mythology is really similar. I think the Romans just jacked it from the Greeks, those dirty bastards. So the Romans pretty much jacked the identical mythology to the Greeks. Now, I get them confused sometimes in terms of which is which. Eros and Anteros are brothers, and Eros is the equivalent to Cupid. So this is kind of like Cupid's brother is who we're going to be playing with. I did not know this was the thing. I just learned this recently, and oh man, is it juicy. It is so freaking saucy. What is going on with all of this mythology? It's like massive tea, okay? That's what's going on with this. So I'm really excited to bring that to the table because it's very fierce. It's like this fierce love that we have coming to the table. So the romance, love, all of that. And the third guide that came through. This guide has been bugging me for weeks. As I've been putting this together, it's like, put me on the lineup. No. This is a relationship week. I don't have room for you on the list. Everyone knows you. You're super popular. This is a relationship time. I want like a sex symbol. I want someone hot. I want sexy love energy. But alas, Ganesha comes to the table. So we all know Ganesha is the remover of obstacles. And I finally realized, I'm like, I get it. During the first round of Cosmic Counsel, we did not have a guide that was a problem solver I take that back. We had an engineer. So we had Leonardo da Vinci the first round, and that was as close, but totally different flavor. And so Ganesha, being in week 2, is going to clearly play a role in all things relational. That was the thing that really made itself clear when I got the yes, that Ganesha needs to be on the list. It only took Ganesha 2 weeks to convince me to be on the roster, and finally I listened. But this is also one of the reasons why it's like, I'm not choosing. Every time I think I'm choosing, like this is who I want it to be this time, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work, so I have to listen to them. I'm not as in charge as I like to think here. So here we are. And then, okay, so shifting into week 3. Week 3 also has its own theme. This is going to influence your storytelling. So think scripting, storytelling, like the theater and drama of your life and your human experience. That's the theme of week 3. The other thing that I've never had anyone work with before, but I get asked about constantly, is sleep. Sleep quality, nightmares, dream time, dream space, the astral realm, all things sleep. We are working with the Sandman. And the Sandman is all things sleep, right? The story, the mythology behind that, or the myth behind that, is sleep. Helping you with sleep quality, helping you in dream time, any issues that you have with sleep, any desires that you have in terms of dream time, is his skill set. That is his specialty. The second guide that came through for this, let me think. Oh, William Shakespeare. So William Shakespeare and the Sandman came to me at the same time. William Shakespeare was a guide that actually came up in my Clean Mastermind. So Clean is a mastermind that I launched earlier during the summer. And William Shakespeare made an appearance. And when I started putting together Cosmic Counsel, I was like, he has to be with us. He is so much fun. The drama is so much fun. And it is going to wildly enhance the story that you're telling yourself. Like, it is unreal. Okay. So he is going to be a supporter of inner dialogue in a way where it's going to add some flair, it's going to add some pizzazz, it's going to add some continuity that maybe you weren't able to access before. It's going to be really cool. And then we had Carol Channing. So the last guide that it completes the 9 of the whole lineup is Carol Channing, right? And so this is the comedic energy. Again, it's similar in terms of theatrics, Broadway, show tunes, all things entertainment, comedy, fun, levity, play. Like, Carol Channing is what is really harmonizing the group because of the levity that she brings. And that's going to be a really fun one as well. So anyway, that is a little bit about The guides that we have for Cosmic Counsel, once again, we start on the 19th. So if you are interested, if you want to come to the party, make sure that you send me questions if you have any. Check out the link in my bio. I have everything listed out for you. And there is also a highlight on my Instagram page. But that is all. We start so soon. I'm excited to see you there, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.